is the Dji Mavic Air review. What is the differences? Dji, the world's leader in civilian drones and aerial imaging technology, today introduced Dji Mavic Air, an ultra-portable, foldable camera drone that delivers higher performance, more intelligent features and greater creative possibilities than any other consumer drone. Developed with the traveler and outdoor enthusiast in mind, Mavic Air inherits the best features of Dji's iconic Mavic series with a 4K camera for superior image quality, new QuickShot modes and SmartCapture for easier, more intelligent photo and video capturing, and FlightAutonomy 2.0 with advanced pilot assistance systems for smarter, safer flight. A marvel of engineering and design, Mavic Air enables limitless exploration wherever adventure takes you. Announced today at an event in New York City, the 799 Mavic Air slots right in between the company's cheapest drone, the 499 Dji Spark, and its most capable Pro Jumper model, the 999 Mavic Pro. It goes on sale January the 28th. Dji says it went back to the drawing board for the Air, which folds up small enough to fit into a pocket. In fact, it's so portable that the company's director of North America actually stuffed 2 of the smartphone-sized drones into his vest pocket at today's event. It's roughly half the size of the Dji Mavic Pro and weighs around 41% of its predecessor. Dji Mavic Air design. The Dji Mavic Air takes the Mavic Pro's foldable, compact design and makes it even smaller. Considering the Dji Mavic Pro was hardly a behemoth, that's no small feat. Now, when folded down, the Dji Mavic Air is just about larger than a phablet in terms of footprint, and about half the size of the Mavic Pro, which makes it Dji's most portable model yet. While it's unlikely to fit in your jeans pocket, it did fit reasonably comfortably in my jacket. The Mavic Air weighs an up-to-svelte 430 grams, a little less than a pound. That's a bit heavier than the 300-gram Spark, but substantially lighter than the larger Mavic Pro's 734 grams. Impressive, given that its feature set is much closer to that of the Mavic Pro than the Spark. Also, when you consider the folding design of the Mavic Air, it's arguably more portable than the Spark, which, while very lightweight, doesn't benefit from the folding design. Unless cost is a deciding factor, it would be hard not to choose the Mavic Air if portability is your priority. Dji Mavic Air specs. The specs of the Dji Mavic Air are much closer to those of the Mavic Pro, which should please consumers who thought the Spark was too underpowered to use for filming or photography. In some ways, it almost sounds better. The Mavic Air uses a 1/2.3-inch sensor that shoots 4K video at 24 or 30 frames per second, or 12 megapixel stills, all with a wide-angle 24mm f2.8 lens. It tops out at 42.5 miles per hour, can withstand winds of up to 22 miles per hour, and has a 2.5-mile range within visual line of sight thanks to a new antenna design. With support for recording 1080p 120 fps slow-motion video, the Mavic Air captures all your epic high-speed adventures. The gimbal, like the drone, has been designed from the ground up. The system is actually recessed directly into the system, giving the drone an even smaller footprint. There's also 8 GB of internal storage on here, so users can save photos and videos without adding a microSD card. Here are the full specs, according to Dji. 3-axis stabilized 4K camera. 24mm f2.8 lens. New ventilation system prevents overheating. Increased signal coverage with new omnidirectional antenna. Foldable body. 21-minute flight time. 2.5-mile range. Reaches speeds up to 42.5 miles per hour. Can take off and fly at up to 16,000 feet 4,900 meters above sea level. Optional remote has been redesigned for portability, with removable thumbsticks. Built-in 8 GB storage with microSD expansion. USB-C port. 3 colors: white, black, red. Mavic Air flight time compatibility. Mavic Air has a maximum flight time of up to 21 minutes. It can fly stably in windy conditions of up to 22 miles per hour, 36 kilometers per hour, and at high elevations of up to 16,404 feet, 5,000 meters above sea level. Maximum flight service ceiling. Maximum flight altitude above ground level is limited for safety purposes. It takes 55 minutes to charge a battery fully when using a standard USB charger or a charging hub. Dji Mavic Air's remote is the first to feature detachable control sticks that can be stored inside the remote controller for added portability. Its omnidirectional antennas placed on the foldable landing gear help increase signal coverage to deliver a maximum range of up to 2.5 miles 4 kilometers with 720p real-time video transmission when flying. With the remote controller. When in sport mode, Mavic Air flies at exhilarating speeds of up to 42 miles per hour, 68 kilometers per hour, and is compatible with Dji goggles for an immersive FPV flight experience. Dji Mavic Air Controller. The included controller works with a smartphone and operates at a range up to 4 kilometers (2.5 mi). It appears visually similar to the Mavic Pro and SPAC controllers, but unlike those models, Dji designed the Air's controller to be as compact as possible for transport. It's even possible to remove the flight control sticks if necessary to fit into a very tight space. This should be a welcome feature to adventurers who may want to stuff the Air into a backpack full of other equipment, such as climbing gear and ropes, without risking damage or taking up any more space than absolutely necessary. Dji Mavic Air Camera Video. 12 megapixel 1/2.3 GMO sensor, f/2.8, 24 mm. 4K, 30 fps, 100 mbps capture. 3-axis stabilized gimbal. 120 fps 1080p slow-mo capture. Dji is promising both updated and improved software features on the Mavic Air, too. There are new shooting modes including a 32 megapixel panorama option, or a tiny planet mode, better gesture controls, and the company claims it's improved its image processing in order to squeeze better photos and videos out of that relatively tiny sensor. A new obstacle avoidance software, which calls on more sensors and better algorithms, will help the drone avoid and move past obstacles instead of just stopping in front of them, according to Dji. With the powerful camera housing a 1/2.3 GMO sensor and the equivalent of a 24mm f2.8 lens on a 35mm full-frame sensor captures high-quality photos and videos. Mavic Air photographs crisp 12 megapixel still images utilizing new HDR algorithms that preserve more highlight and low-light details, allowing you to capture stunning aerial pictures from sunrise to sunset. It also shoots smooth stabilized 4K video at 30 fps, capturing the highest quality video of any Dji consumer drone with a maximum bitrate of 100 mbps. Preserving the action and dramatic fast-paced scenes is now possible through its ability to shoot 1080p slow-motion video at 120 fps. As seen in other consumer-focused drones in Dji's range, the Dji Mavic Air offers QuickShot video modes with predetermined flight paths that keep the subject in frame. Along with the rocket, drone, circle, and helix paths seen previously are two new modes, with asteroids starting with a spherical image that zooms in and descends towards the subject on the ground, while boomerang circles around the subject in an oval-shaped flight path. The Active-Track Intelligent Flight mode has been improved to allow it to sense multiple subjects in a frame, as well as being able to keep the main subject in frame during high-motion activities. SmartCapture, the gesture system introduced with the Spark, lets users provide hand-based commands to the drone from up to 20 feet away, including to launch, land, push and pull the position, follow, and take a photograph. Don't forget Dji Mavic Air is Dji's first drone with 8 GB of onboard storage, letting you save photos and videos directly to the aircraft on the go, plus a microSD card slot for additional storage capacity. The newly added USB-C port makes exporting captured footage easy and fast. Dji Mavic Air vs Mavic Pro comparison. The designs of the Mavic Air and Mavic Pro are fairly similar. Both feature foldable propeller arms coming off the corners of a long, rectangular body. Both also have a camera mounted in the front. The Mavic Pro's camera is more open, while the Mavic Air's camera is slightly nestled into the chassis. Where the drones differ most in design is in their respective sizes. The Mavic Air is roughly half the size of the Mavic Pro, and it's 41% lighter. The Mavic Pro weighs in at 1.62 pounds, 734 grams, while the Mavic Air is just 0.94 pounds, 430 grams. The Mavic Air is just as wide as its big brother, but it's shorter and shallower. The Mavic Pro measures 7.79 x 3.26 x 3.26 inches 198 x 83 x 83 millimeters, while the Mavic Air measures a pocketable 6.61 x 3.26 x 1.92 inches 168 x 83 x 49 millimeters. The Mavic Pro's camera system is comparable to the Mavic Air's, but there are some differences. The Mavic Pro also supports its camera on a 3-axis gimbal, but it only has a 78.8-degree field of view. Its camera can also snap 12MP still images and shoot 4K video at 30 FPS. However, to hit 120 FPS, it has to shoot at 720p, and it can't capture HDR images. It does get a leg up in professional video applications, though, as it can shoot in cinematic 4K, a high-resolution version at the industry standard 24 FPS. The Mavic Pro's video birther is a bit slower than the Mavic Air's, coming in at 60 Mbps. The Mavic Air edges out the Mavic Pro in terms of sensors, with more packed on to keep the drone flying safe and avoiding obstacles. However, the Mavic Pro takes that edge back when it comes to operational distance, as it is capable of communicating with the controller up to 4.3 miles away compared to the Mavic Air's 2.5-mile functional range. While both drones support microSD cards, the Mavic Pro supports a 64 GB maximum that doesn't do much to compete. The Mavic Air can support a 128 GB microSD card, and it also has 8 GB of internal storage for those times you need a picture or video in a hurry. The Mavic Pro has a greater range than the Mavic Air. That's not the end of the story when it comes to flight and controls. Both the Mavic Pro and Mavic Air come with remote controls and support Dji goggles for a first-person flying perspective. On these points, the two are evenly matched. The Mavic Air sports a 2375 mAh battery that can support 21 minutes of flight time. The Mavic Pro boasts a large 3830 mAh battery that gets it up to 27 minutes of flight time. In terms of total flight distance possible with each drone, the Mavic Air can go 6.2 miles 10 kilometers without wind on a single charge, while the Mavic Pro can go 8 miles 13 kilometers. The Mavic Air is a bit zippier than the heavier Mavic Pro. It can top out at 42.5 miles per hour, 68.4 kilometers per hour compared to the Mavic Pro's top speed of 40 miles per hour, 65 kilometers per hour in sport mode. Both are a match in terms of how they handle wind, with each capable of resisting 19-24 miles per hour, 29-38 kilometers per hour winds. Dji Mavic Air vs Dji Spark comparison. There are a number of differences in design between the Spark and Mavic Air, but the most important is undoubtedly the foldable arms. Like the bigger Mavic Pro, you can collapse all 4 of the arms on the Air, while the small Spark has completely rigid arms. Due to being foldable, the Mavic Air is far easier to carry around in the side pocket of a rucksack, or stowed away in an inner bag compartment, than the Spark. It's much narrower and thinner than the Spark when folded, but is bigger when unfolded. That said, at 430 grams, it's heavier than the 300-gram Spark. It may have a more portable design, thanks to those foldable arms, but that doesn't mean the Mavic Air skimps on performance. In fact, in most measurable ways, the Mavic is superior. Dji's latest portable drone has an impressive maximum flight time of 21 minutes. That's a notable upgrade on the 16 minutes you got with the Spark. You can fly it further too. Its 4 kilometers remote-controlled transmission range means you can fly it twice as far as the Spark, which is a 2 kilometers range. It's a similar story with maximum altitude. Mavic Air's maximum ceiling above sea level is 5,000 meters, while the Spark climbs as high as 4,000 meters and then can't go any further. As for speed, you guessed it, the Mavic Air's top speed is higher than the Spark's. Mavic Air can get up to speeds of 42 miles per hour in sport mode. That's 11 miles per hour more than the Spark's maximum 31 miles per hour. Both devices can fly in winds up to 22 miles per hour and stabilize themselves. Both drones feature obstacle avoidance systems to stop you from flying headfirst into trees or buildings. Dji Spark can detect obstacles up to 5 meters away using its front-facing sensor system. Yet again here, the Mavic Air outperforms the Spark and offers obstacle detection that can reach up to 20 meters away, using the forward and backward dual camera vision systems. As well as a clear upgrade on design and features, the optics are massively improved on the Mavic Air. In fact, it offers video recording and stills that are up to the same level as some of its much more expensive consumer drones. The Spark maxes out video recording at full HD resolution, while the Dji Mavic Air can record 4K resolution at 30 frames per second, and with a maximum bitrate of 100 Mbps. It can also shoot slow-motion 1080p video at 120 frames per second. As for still photography, both are similar as far as resolution goes. They both have 1/2.3 sensors, both capable of shooting up to 12 megapixel stills and both with f/2.6 aperture lenses. The big difference is that the Mavic Air has an advanced HDR mode, improved optics and the only upgrades made to the camera system. The 3-axis mechanical gimbal system adds an extra axis for more stable footage too. Mavic Air price and availability. The all-new Dji Mavic Air will retail for $799 and will be available for pre-order starting today. A Fly More combo with extra batteries 2 for an hour of flight time, extra propellers and more will be $999. Shipping will start as of January the 28th.
Dji Mavic Air is official, and it could be all the drone you'll ever need. After teasing the new product on its website last week and being susceptible to a leak yesterday, Dji has officially unveiled the Mavic Air drone. Taking inspiration from both the Mavic Pro and Spark drones, the Mavic Air is not only the company's most portable drone to date, but it also arrives with an array of intelligent features to help you take amazing photos and videos from up high. The Mavic Air weighs in at 430 grams, but while it may be heavier than the Spark, Dji says it's its most portable drone to date, thanks to its folding arms and propellers that can sit flush with the body, in a similar fashion to the Mavic Pro. The 12-megapixel camera sits in a recessed 3-axis gimbal in the belly of the Mavic Air, which, as the leak specs said, features a 1/2.3-inch CMOS sensor, equivalent to a 24mm f/2.8 lens. The Mavic Air's camera can take HDR photographs, so shouldn't be fazed by bright sunlight. It's also capable of shooting 4K video, although the leaked specs said it could shoot at 60 FPS. That isn't the case, but the Mavic Air can shoot 4K at 30 FPS, or Full HD 1080p up to 120 FPS for slow-motion video capture. If you don't happen to have a microSD card to hand, the Mavic Air has 8 GB of onboard storage, so you can still take photos and videos, while a USB-C port lets you quickly transfer files onto a computer. The Mavic Air introduces several new photo and video modes, designed to help both amateurs and professionals take stunning shots. A new sphere panorama feature takes 25 shots in 1 minute and automatically stitches them together to create a 32-megapixel panoramic shot, but you can also take vertical, horizontal and 180-degree panoramic photos, too. If it's high-quality video you're after, the QuickShot intelligent video modes are your best friend. They have predetermined flight paths that keep the subject in frame, and you can employ rocket, drone, circle, helix or new asteroid and boomerang modes to give videos a professional touch without needing the professional piloting skills. The Mavic Air supports gesture controls too, so you don't always need a remote control to hand. You can control the Mavic Air using your hands from up to 6 meters away, telling it to launch, follow, take a photo, record video, push, pull and land. Dji has fitted the Mavic Air with FlightAutonomy 2.0, which uses the drone's 7 onboard cameras' infrared sensors to create an accurate third map of its surroundings, so it can better avoid any obstacles. As previously leaked, the Mavic Air has a flight time of 21 minutes, and can fly in winds up to 22 miles per hour and up to altitudes of 5,000 meters. New omnidirectional antennas let you fly the Mavic Air up to 2.5 miles from your location, all while streaming live 1080p video footage to the controller. And if you put the Mavic Air into sport mode, it can fly at speeds up to 42 miles per hour. The Dji Mavic Air is available to pre-order now in onyx black, arctic white and flame red colors for £769 including a battery, remote control, carry case, 2 pairs of propeller guards and 4 pairs of propellers. Dji will also offer a Fly More combo pack, which includes 3 batteries, travel bag, remote control, 2 pairs of propeller guards, 6 pairs of propellers, a battery to power bank adapter and battery charging hub for £949. Pre-orders will begin shipping from the 28th of January.